let's go live to Omaha, Nebraska, now where Liz Claman is sitting down with Berkshire Hathaway Chairman and CEO Warren Buffett and some special guests. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Alexis. Yes, the first official live sit-down interview in a long form here with Mr. Buffett, who's been kind enough to join Fox Business. Good morning. Are you exhausted?
No, I'm not tired at all. My voice is a little shot, but otherwise I'm doing great.
Well, this is what amazes me. Out of 43 years, this was your biggest meeting ever of 31,000 people compared to last year, say 27,000. You may burst the seams soon of the Quest Center.
That's the problem.
What's plan B?
Well, there's not a good plan B. One possibility, because we'll run out of space. I might ask the people in Omaha to go to a second overflow auditorium, like the Civic Auditorium, which would hold 10,000, just on a voluntary basis for the guests that are coming in. And if I could get 5,000 or 6,000 to do that, you know, we can handle some more.
This was the third year out of 10 where you made a big deal the week of the shareholder meeting. This year it was Wrigley. I believe a year or two ago it was ISCAR, before that McLean. Is this now your modus operandi, where you land the big fish to feed to the masses who come to see you?
I'd love to do it, but it's been accident, obviously, because deals happen at Berkshire when the other person initiates something. I had no idea about Mars and Wrigley a few weeks ago. So I hope I can come up with something, but I'll take them anytime.
You never launch a hostile takeover, anything like that?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's just not my way of living. I want people that want to join us, and I want managers that are enthused once they get here. We're going to keep the management in place that comes with the deal, and we're not equipped to take over something and raid a castle and then bring in our own troops afterwards or anything like that. So we'll never have an unfriendly deal.
You know what amazed me about the shareholder weekend was that after 7 hours of questions, and I listened to every single one of them, very few of them were about the Berkshire business. In fact, I think Forbes has written a column saying that, and I'm quoting them, that the shareholder meetings become a farce because the shareholders don't ask tough questions about the businesses of Berkshire. What's your response to that?
Well, all I can say is that we don't filter them in any way. We let whoever gets up to the microphone first ask the question. We don't ask them the question they're going to ask before they ask it. And in the end, 31,000 people get to come and ask whatever they want to. But I was surprised how few questions there were on Berkshire this year.
Well, let me ask some of the bigger business questions. Your most recent profits were down 64% due to derivatives exposure. You aggressively traffic in derivatives. What happened there? How much more is there to come?
Well, as we explained in the press release, we have two basic types of derivatives. And, well, what happened in April is actually they went up maybe 500 or 600 million. They get marked every day to market and reported every quarter on a market basis. And a big segment of them are 15 and 20-year equity puts. So the first money will change hands in 2019. But every time the market changes, foreign exchange changes, the formula that's used to value them moves the numbers around. We keep all the cash. We've got $8 billion we're holding on the two classes of derivatives. So to me, it's meaningless, but it's required by accounting, and that's what happens.
Well, let's broaden the aperture to some of your other businesses that might have housing exposure.
Sure.
You certainly have these businesses that are tightly linked to the housing market. Shaw Carpet, Clayton Homes. You also have Acme Brick.
Right.
How much have they reacted to what you now call the recession that we're seeing?
Well, if they're housing related, they're down, and sometimes they're down a lot. The one that would be down the most would be Acme Brick, because every bit of their product goes into pretty much residential construction. And but Shaw Carpet is affected by the same thing. Their competitor Mohawk Carpet is affected. So anything we have, and our furniture operations in Las Vegas, for example, where residential housing slowed down a lot, we see it. So we get the playback from anything that's going on in the way of a slowdown in residential real estate.
You get the playback of everything that was sold over the weekend. How you got the numbers? Can you give us some of them?
Well, in Omaha there was no recession this weekend. Our furniture store here on Saturday broke its all-time record. We did $7.25 million in one day at a furniture store. Any retailer listening to that
during a housing slump.
Yeah, and a year ago on Saturday we set a record at that time of $6.5 million. So it was up over 10%. record-breaking, and jewelry, everything sold in record numbers.
Seas sold out.
Seas sold out, everything. Everything sells out pretty much.
You wouldn't go global with Seas? Try and get into the Chinese market?
I wish we could, Liz. We've tried 50 different ways. It's not a product that travels very well. Even in the East, 2/3 of the people in the East prefer dark chocolate. 2/3 of the people in the West prefer milk chocolate. They're different tastes, and we do wonderfully where they love us, but it's hard to extend it.
About this recession, Alan Greenspan says it'll be, this is how he put it, a pale recession. I don't know, as opposed to what, a tan recession? But I mean, what do you see it as?
More like a sunburn.
Really?
Yeah. No, I think the odds are good that it will be longer and deeper than most people anticipate. But that's not my game. I mean, I go ahead and do a Mars Wrigley deal regardless of what the forecast might be. It doesn't make any difference to me. But just from what I see with the consumer, I would say that this is going to be longer, deeper than most people think.
Beyond the obvious, nobody asked deeper questions about the succession plan. You've said before you've got the 3 names in a vault of people who would be the chairman. You've got 4 other names for chief investment officer. Everybody's talking. Barron's has the front cover of it saying it's David Sokol of Mid-American. I met him over the weekend. Delightful. Of course, he wouldn't say anything. But let's just fast forward and imagine that the succession plan suddenly has to kick into place. What's Berkshire stock going to do? How will it react knowing that the man whose record nobody's duplicated isn't running this company anymore?
The person that succeeds me will be better in many respects in running Berkshire than I am. I may have certain advantages in some. I'm a known quantity to some degree, but it won't make it. We've got 76 wonderful businesses run by 76 managers, and the person that will succeed me will be a good deal maker. They'll be a good operating manager, and the stock shouldn't go down. Although I'll be a little disappointed if it goes up a lot the day I die. I mean,
what do the directors, the board of directors, say to you? They say, "Please stay healthy." I mean, what are they concerned about you and just want to make sure things go as planned?
The main topic we will talk about today, and this is true every time, is the 3 possible successors. We'll talk about the investment people. That's the primary interest of the board. They want to know the answer to that, and they do.